Ladies and gentlemen, in the world of British coinage, even the smallest denomination can hide a story far bigger than its value. Today, we're diving into the 2004 and 2001 2-pence coins of Queen Elizabeth II, coins that millions of people have seen, but very few have actually understood. What makes these coins different? Why do collectors still hunt for certain years? And what tiny details on these coins can turn a simple 2-pence into a sought-after collectible? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to show you will completely change the way you look at everyday currency, forever. The 2001 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin stands as a continuation of one of Britain's most recognizable and enduring coin designs. Struck under the authority of the Royal Mint, the coin is made of copper-plated steel, giving it a warm reddish tone that resembles the older bronze coins but with greater durability for heavy circulation. Even though it is a small denomination, the 2-pence carries cultural, symbolic, and economic significance in the UK, especially during the early 2000s when physical currency was heavily used in everyday transactions. The year 2001 itself was a time when Britain was transitioning technologically, yet traditional currency still ruled daily commerce, making coins like this an essential part of the nation's financial rhythm. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by engraver. This was the fourth official portrait of Her Majesty to appear on British coinage, introduced in 1998. The distinguishing detail of this portrait is its realism. Queen Elizabeth II is shown with a mature, dignified expression, acknowledging her decades of service. Unlike earlier portraits, this design does not attempt to idealize or dramatize the monarch. Instead, it focuses on authenticity, the contours of her face, the shape of her crown, and the natural aging that represented her long reign. The initials, IRB, can be seen at the base of the portrait, marking the work of the artist whose design became iconic across millions of coins. This classical Latin translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This phrase is more than tradition, it is a symbolic reminder of the constitutional and spiritual roles held by the monarch. Every 2-pence coin carries this declaration, connecting even the smallest unit of currency to the immense history of the British monarchy. The year 2001 marks the exact date of minting and places the coin within a specific chapter of Elizabeth II's historic rule. Turning to the reverse, the 2001 2-pence showcases the timeless badge of the Prince of Wales, a design originally introduced in 1971 when the UK adopted decimal coinage. The emblem consists of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, with a ribbon carrying the German motto, ICH DIEN, meaning, I serve. This phrase encapsulates the spirit of duty associated with the Prince of Wales and adds a noble identity to the coin. The simplicity yet elegance of the design is what makes it stand out. The feathers, the curves, the coronet, all carefully engraved to show depth and symbolism. Surrounding the emblem are the words, 2-pence, clearly stating the denomination in a bold, traditional font. Physically, the coin weighs 7.12 grams, has a diameter of 25.9 millimeters, and possesses a smooth round edge. Its copper-plated steel composition gives it magnetic properties, a feature introduced by the Royal Mint to reduce production costs while maintaining a classic copper appearance. This shift from bronze to steel occurred in 1992, meaning the 2001 issue belongs to the modern era of 2-pence coins where practicality and cost efficiency were balanced with traditional aesthetics. Despite being a common circulating coin, many pieces from the early 2000s survive in excellent condition due to durable metal and high-quality minting standards. Historically, the 2-pence coin carries cultural association with everyday life in the UK. It is used in shops, vending machines, and famously in seaside arcades for 2p pushing machines, making it a sentimental coin for many British families. A 2001 edition of this coin represents the era when Britain's economy was stable, and physical cash remained an integral part of daily spending. Collectors often value coins from this period for their clarity of strike, the significance of the Rank-Broadley portrait, and the quality of minting that continued into the early 21st century. In numismatic terms, the 2001 2-pence is generally considered a common coin, but its worth increases when found in uncirculated, brilliant uncirculated, or proof condition. Such specimens retain their original shine, sharp edges, and flawless surfaces, qualities that appeal strongly to coin enthusiasts. While its monetary value may not be high, its historical, aesthetic, and collector appeal make it a noteworthy piece, especially for those building complete date runs of Queen Elizabeth II decimal coins. The coin also holds sentimental significance as part of the long and beloved era of Elizabeth II's reign, making it a meaningful collectible even for beginners. In summary, the 2001 Two Pence is not just a small copper coin, it is a polished piece of British identity, crafted with precision, rich with symbolism, and connected to the remarkable legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Every element of this coin, from the royal portrait to the Prince of Wales emblem, tells a story of heritage, duty, and craftsmanship. Holding it is like holding a quiet echo of Britain's past, preserved in metal and carried through the hands of millions. Before you place your ordinary pocket change back on the table, take a closer look at the 2004 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin, a coin that millions of people walked past every day without realizing the hidden history stamped into its copper surface. This little 2p piece is more than just a small denomination. It represents the evolution of modern British coinage, the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and the final years of traditional bronze-style coins before the UK moved fully toward plated steel. From the iconic crown plume of feathers on the reverse to the elegant and youthful portrait of the Queen on the obverse, the 2004 2 pence carries the final echoes of an era before design reforms transformed UK coinage forever. Today, collectors worldwide look at this coin not just as currency, but as a preserved snapshot of Britain's cultural, political, and economic shift during the early 2000s. The 2004 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin is part of the long-running British decimal coinage system introduced in 1971, but by 2004 it had reached a significant transitional point in design and material composition. The coin features the familiar and instantly recognizable obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the talented sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley, whose initials, IRB, appear just below the neck of the Queen. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was known for its realism, more mature, fuller, and more detailed compared to the idealized portraits from earlier decades. By 2004, this portrait had become the established image of British coinage, symbolizing the stability and continuity of Elizabeth II's reign at a time when the UK was undergoing rapid economic and social evolution. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic and personally significant jewelry pieces. This bold and strong profile became a landmark moment in British numismatic history because it restored a more traditional, realistic style to the monarchy's representation. On the reverse side, the coin displays the classic badge of the Prince of Wales, consisting of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below the feathers, you will find a ribbon inscribed with the Old German motto which translates to, "I serve." This emblem has been associated with the Prince of Wales for centuries and is a centerpiece of the British royal identity. The reverse design was created by a central figure in British coin redesign during the decimalization era. What makes this design special in 2004 is that it still preserved the original 1971 layout, which would later be replaced in 2008 when the UK introduced a new segmented shield design across all lower denominations. So, in many ways, the 2004 version represents the last stable era of the traditional British coin appearance before the major redesign. The material composition of the 2004 2 pence is another important part of its story. Up until 1992, British copper coins were made from 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, forming traditional bronze. But from 1992 onward, including the 2004 coin, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel, which allowed the UK to drastically reduce production costs. At first glance, the coin still looks like a deep copper coin, but underneath the thin plated layer lies a steel core that is magnetic. This is why many collectors test the authenticity of modern 2p coins with a magnet. Pre-1992 coins do not stick to magnets, while post-1992 ones like the 2004 do. The steel core also helped improve durability, as these coins circulate heavily in everyday British life. By 2004, the shift to copper-plated steel had become standard, making this coin part of a larger economic decision that reshaped the entire UK currency production system. In terms of weight and dimensions, the 2004 2 pence maintains the traditional measurements set at the start of decimalization. The coin weighs 7.12 grams, has a diameter of 25.9 millimeters, and features a smooth, plain edge. These specifications kept the coin easily recognizable by touch alone, something essential to British consumers and vending machines. The consistent weight also allowed for seamless integration with the UK banking system and automated machines. The thickness and metallic feel of the 2004 2p coin give it a sturdy presence, which is one of the reasons many countries admired the robustness of British lower denomination coinage. Production numbers also add depth to the story of the 2004 2 pence. The Royal Mint struck these coins in huge quantities to sustain high circulation demand. While not considered rare in normal circulated condition, coins in brilliant uncirculated (BU) and proof sets from 2004 are significantly more valuable. The Royal Mint annually produced collector sets that included a pristine 2 pence coin with a mirror-like finish, which today remain desirable among numismatists. The polished detailing and sharp strike in these sets beautifully highlight the Queen's portrait and the feathers emblem, making them much more visually appealing than typical pocket change specimens. Historically, the year 2004 also adds context to the coin's importance. This was a time when the UK was firmly adjusting to a post-millennium identity. Britain was immersed in technological change, shifting global influence, and expanding multiculturalism. Coins from this era serve as small but powerful reminders of how Britain balanced tradition with modernization. The 2p coin, although humble, symbolized continuity during a decade filled with change. It carried the steady image of Queen Elizabeth II, the nation's anchor, on one side, while the reverse reflected the centuries-old royal lineage of the Prince of Wales. Together, they formed a symbolic partnership between monarchy and national identity. Collectors today see the 2004 Elizabeth II 2 pence as a transitional piece. It belongs to the last decade before the 2008 redesign, and it also belongs to the era when copper-plated steel was still relatively new. Because of these factors, many modern collectors store these coins as part of complete, early 2000s UK currency sets. While not extremely rare, the coin has educational, historical, and sentimental value. For people in South Asia, including Pakistan, these coins often carry an emotional connection as well, because millions of families lived, worked, or traveled to the UK, bringing back coins as souvenirs. This makes the 2004 2 pence not just a British coin, but a shared memory across cultures.